So the solution for this equation, which was your assignment last Thursday, what you should have been doing, again, it's an equation that's got cos x in it and a cos 2x. So it is all about the cos function, but one of them has got the 2x. So when that happens, when you're dealing with a double angle and another a single angle like this, it's the double angle that you need to focus on and replace. So the replacement, of course, for cos 2x you have a choice, but you have to choose the most appropriate one. There is absolutely no point in replacing it with cos squared minus sine squared. That would introduce a complication of a second function in there. So the one we go for is the one with the cos. So the second one. So what you should have written down in your working, what it should look like is the next line of working should be cos x minus, that 2 is going to multiply your expression for cos 2x, so you need to be using brackets here because it's more than one term. So we've got 2 bracket 2 cos squared x minus 1, and then you've got minus 2 at the end of that equals 0. So you would in an exam get 1 mark at this point here, and you can check your own work and see whether or not you would have got that mark. You then do need to multiply out, right? So this here, remember, is the direct replacement for that cos 2x, but we do need to multiply out the bracket. That minus 2 at the front multiplies each of the terms in there, so you've got cos x minus, you're going to have 4 cos squared x, then you will have plus 2, and then you've got the minus 2 in the end equals 0. When you tidy that up, you're then just left with cos x minus 4 cos squared x, and the 2's have cancelled out and you've just got equals 0. So although you have got a quadratic still, with a cos squared being in there, it's not a trinomial type, it's not, you've not got the 3 terms this time. You do still, to solve this, need to factorise. Always remember that for factorising you should always start by checking for the highest common factor, and this is what happens with this one. It is a common factor when it's not straight into the trinomial expression. So it would become your factor is your cos x is your common factor. Right, we'll write that at the side just so you can see. Right, we are factorising using common factor. Cos x outside the bracket, you've got 1 minus, you're going to have 4 cos x inside the bracket. And again, right, at this point that would usually get you the 3rd mark for having factorised. Make sure you've still got that equals 0 going on there. That then allows you to split into your 2 little mini equations. So the first one being that you're trying to solve cos x equals 0, and the other one, the 1 minus 4 cos x equals 0. To solve cos x equals 0, and of course we were dealing with, this is all in degrees, and our x's have to be between 0 and 360. So if you draw a little picture of what the cos graph looks like, little sketch for yourself, knowing that the cos x is 0 in both those 2 positions there, so that's your 90 and your 270. So x equals 0 and not 0, x equals 90 and 270 would be your solutions here for that one. Right, so we get x equals 90 and 270. For this other one, you could rearrange that, get minus 4 cos x equals -1. Divide by the -4, you'd get cos x equals -1 divided by -4. Hopefully you know that becomes positive 1/4. So cos is positive. From your cast diagram, you would be looking for angles in the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. To get the one in the first quadrant, you need to go to your calculator. It's not one of our exact values, so we'd be doing cos to the -1/4, and that would give you an angle of 75.52 to 4 whole of the other digits, rounding it to 1 decimal place, 75.5, or 2 decimal places, 75.52. Your fourth quadrant angle, you then do 360 minus that 75.5, so our fourth quadrant angle will be 284.5. So from this, the two solutions that you're looking at, 75.5 and your 284.5. So putting all those things together, your final solution at the bottom, you would have list the four angles, x equals 75.5, oops, right, 75.5, your 90, your 270, and the 284.5, and that would be it. So in terms of where you get the other marks, these are usually worth 5 marks. So I said we're at 3 marks down to there. You get 4 marks. The fourth mark is this line here, where you've for both equations, where you split up. So it's for this one and this one. And you need to have both of them. And then your final solution down here, everything together, is your 5th mark. So hopefully you were well on your way to getting 5 out of 5 for that. You can check your work in, look for places to improve if you didn't get 5 out of 5.